Today we're going to make a mini waterfall book. Ciao dear hearts, welcome back to the studio. My name is Caterina and the guy behind the camera is my wonderful husband Don Digison, and we're so glad that you're here today. It's been a little while since we did a video, but we've been moving. We're going to be moving, so we don't know exactly when we'll be videoing, but today we're going to work on this little mini book, and I can't wait to show you the technique. So this little waterfall book, I actually saw this on Instagram, and the page is titled Past in Pages. I think it's Past in Pages. Anyway, she makes large books, and so I thought, wow, this would be great to make a small one. She also has a YouTube channel too, by the way, Past in Pages, and it would be great to make a small one for you guys. So I thought that's what we would do today. This one is my first one, and it is a book about the war, and it's really personal to Don and I. So we're going to recreate this book, but you can make it any topic that you want. I really love the elastic here, and I'm going to share with you my technique for putting all of this together. To make this little book, I used cardstock. Now you could use a manila folder, you could use anything that's pretty flexible. You could use mixed media paper. It would be a little bit stiffer, but it would hold together. And so I used this cardstock, this old cardstock that I had. So this paper is handmade wrapping paper, and so it's really kind of light. It's what I used for this book, and I really like the texture and the way it turned out. It's not too heavy because you do have to stitch through the layers, so you don't want it to be too heavy. So what we're going to do, I cut the cardstock into a 3x6. That's just a little bit larger than this one, but I think it's going to be a really good size. The other thing is you want something that's really flexible, the paper on the outside, to cover it, because you're going to cover that, and then we're going to cover the inside as well. So let's get started on that right now. So you want to make sure that you cut your paper, whatever that is, into a 3x6. You can make it any size you want to. You just have to make sure that you're not folding it in the middle, because you're going to fold it, I don't know, how far is that?
2.5 inches.
About 2.5 inches. There we go. Thank you, honey. And then lay it down, and I had the paper kind of folded a little bit to begin with. All right, and then we're going to just go ahead and do our corners like we normally do. We're going to wrap the inside with the same paper. So we're going to put this on here like that, put this one down, and put this one down. And then we're just going to finish it. And I thought, since I made the last one about the war that's going on in Ukraine, which is devastating to both of us, it's really difficult to watch people suffer. You can make your book anything you want. This book is going to be about speaking and about letters and writing, that kind of thing. So I thought we would make this one together today. So now you see where your bend is, because of course on your waterfall you want the pages to show off. That's what you want to see, the extra pages there. And so you want a little bit of space there, right? And so we're just going to finish this, and then we're going to do the inside. Okay. Trying to keep this all in the frame for you guys. Let's see. Okay, so I think the first thing I'm going to do is to fold this one like this, and then about like that. Let's see if that works. That's about right. And then we're going to fold this up. And having it folded ahead of time really makes a difference, let me tell you. So there we go. And then this side is going to go in here. Now that's the way I did it. Now if you don't want to do that, if you just want to cut it off, that's fine. I just like a more finished edge. So that's why I did this. And I'm not worried about the dots lining up or any of that stuff, because you know none of that stuff bothers me. So we're just going to put this back on here. And you know, if it doesn't quite fit, we're just gonna tuck it in. Okay, so there's our finished cover. Pretty simple, don't you think? So I've made signatures for this, and I just used a few. I didn't use as many as I did in the other book, just to share with you the technique for making this. And so what I did was I just used two of the sheets. This one is antique, so I made sure that I used clear gesso, and you can get that on our links. And by the way, thank you so much for using our links. We appreciate that, and all of your tips in the tip jar. We appreciate that. And also your likes and your shares and all of your comments. We so appreciate it. So it's going to look like this, and so all we have to do is, so what you want to do is cut your papers, your signature, and like I said, I use 3 down so that they fit in the book and that they waterfall so that you can see the other pages. And then if you want to make this a deckled edge, you can. If you want to use different colors, you can, but just so that it looks attractive to you. And then what we're going to do is we're going to poke that with our awl, and we're going to do 1. I'm going to do it 4 times. 2, and then 3, and then 4. Now it's a little easier if you wait for it to dry, but that's all right. We don't need to do that. We can get it through there. And then I'm going to use the waxed linen thread that's in our links today too. I'm just going to use black. So we're going to go in here, and we're going to tie a knot just like any other book. It's just going to, this is just so simple. I just think it's fabulous. It's going to give us some time to do a little bit of collage work today too. So I'm going to do a double knot just so we make sure it stays in there. Now you want to make sure you gesso those pages really well, because if you don't, then it's going to, they're going to rip out. They're going to pull out, especially if you're using any antique paper, which you know I love to do that. So stitch in, stitch out, and come back through right here, and we're going to tie another knot. How easy is that? That's simple. So we're going to do this, and then we're going to use our awl to make a knot by holding it in place like that. Come on, you can do it. You can do it. There you go. And we're going to tie another one just to make sure that it stays put. All right, and then cut that off. So here's our little book. It's just a little bit bigger than this one. You can make them any size you want, of course, but we're going to work on the little cover piece because we want it to dry, and we'll put that on the last, it'll be the last thing that we place on here, but we want it to dry. So I have some pieces here, and these are just like, they're like game tokens, I think. And I was thinking about a one of those instead of a rectangle. And I'm not sure. I kind of like that one. But I really think that we want something that's not quite as tall, but that's not bad like that. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do is, I think I'll use this one, and I think I'm just going to find a spot that I really like, and then we're going to, this says creation, so we'll go do this here, and we're going to put it right about there on here. We're going to need a little bit more glue on here. There we go. Oops. No, I haven't used my gloves. Okay, so there we are. And then I want to just bend it slightly, and if this one doesn't work, we'll put something else on there, because this seems like it's having a little bit of trouble, but we'll leave it there to dry. And we're going to move along. And the way I made this was I simply used this black elastic and a little tiny piece of Velcro. And so I just wanted to share with you the way I created that. So this already had a bend in it, already had a fold, so that was absolutely perfect. And what we're going to do is put it back here like that, and glue it to the book, and then around to the front, and we'll make it just a little bit lower, and just cut this here, and then I just pulled this apart and cut two pieces. And you don't want it to be too small or it won't hold it. And then you're just gonna take it apart and put it on your elastic. It's pretty simple, pretty easy, but it works quite well. And you can do this for any book. You know, you don't have to use it just on this one, but although it worked out really well for this. But
Where do you get that Velcro?
any sewing store will have it. So what you want to make sure when you have this already cut and ready to lay down is you want to see where you want to post it, where you want to put it. Because if you put it too far away, then you know it's going to look a little sloppier. If you want it, you know, really tight, then you're not going to have enough room. So you want to have enough room so that when you start collaging in your book, so my advice is to put it on there and then set it down. It works out much better that way. There. Okay, so I have everything ready in here so that we can just do some collage work. And one of the things I wanted to do with this was to just use some paper to make some transfers with, because we hadn't done that in a long time, so I thought I would do that. So the first thing I'm going to do is just kind of go through the book, and I'm just going to glue some things down, and I'm using gel matte medium, so if you need that, you know where you can get it. I'm not really too worried about what it's going to look like. I'm just interested in getting a few things down, and then we can finesse it later. We can sand pages, we can add paint, we can do all kinds of things, but I just wanted to get a few things down, and I wanted it to be about letters, and I don't know why I did, but I did, and I wanted it to be a little bit about scale. Maybe I'll put it here instead. So using different sizes is always really good in your work. If you're using this, you know, if you're just using one thing through your book, which is what my intention for this was. And so it doesn't have to make a lot of sense when you first start out, because you have to just trust that eventually the book is going to tell the story. And so, I mean, I kind of feel like it's almost like talking in circles, you know, like that's kind of what we're doing, right? And it's with the circle and the dots, so maybe that's what my book will be about. I don't know, but just kind of going with the flow of it. And then you can always change it, you can paint it, you can do other things to it. So I'm going to place paper on here and then see if we can do a transfer there. And then, well, I just want to get words on the page. That's my plan. And then if you want to do stitching or something else, you know, I can do stitching if I want to, whatever. I've got all these things, so I like the word artist. Let's use that, huh? So put that down here. And we can put, let's see what else. I like this too. It's kind of fun. So anyway, this is how I work, and you can you know, make your book any way you want to. You can make this book into anything you want. I mean, you could just put blank pages on it and throw it in a purse or give it to a friend to use, or you know, everybody can use a little booklet, right, to put different things in. And they can be gifts, you know, put family photos in them. I just think it's really sweet little thing. So you can see what you think about it. Try it and try playing with it. Okay, let's see if this worked now. I don't think so, not yet. I'm gonna probably need to burnish it a little bit. And this is super old paper, so it might not work too well, but we'll try it. We'll see. Okay, we'll come back to it. So if you remember a while back in one of the videos that we did transfers with paper, and how we just kind of put it down and then pulled it back off. And we just did that over and over again, and it creates a wonderful texture on your page. So I thought we'd do a little bit of that today too, and see how that looks, because I just think it's a great texture. And then put some more down here, maybe, like right there. Because we're not interested in really what it says. We're just interested in how it looks in our book. And then, you know, if we're going to be talking in circles, then we need more more papers that are cut in a circle too. So we'll just do a few more here, like this. And then find a spot for this to go down. There we go. No, it's too close to that one. Let's move it. That's too much. No, that's enough right now. We'll just have to wait. So thank you for your thumbs up. We appreciate that. It really helps the channel. And we know that, oop, not yet. We gotta wait. Yeah, we'll put this here. We'll put it over phone. There we go. Okay, that's great. One of the things that I really like to do is to rip the pieces back, because I don't want the whole thing to show. I want to create some texture on the page, so I ripped this one back and that. So I go through just as it's drying. This one isn't quite dry yet and still needs a little bit of burnishing probably, because I don't think it's quite ready to come off yet. No. Okay, so like this one, take this and see if we can't rip that back just a little bit without ripping the page, which would be a good thing. But if we do, then we'll fix it, right? So like that. Okay, and I like that look. And then I'll probably come back and paint this book, the inside of it too. So let's see if this is finished yet. Not quite. You just have to wait. I don't know where this is going to go. I'm thinking right there. It's another circle. And anyway, I would just keep working it like this, and then I'll probably go back and do some painting on it too. So that looks pretty good. I hope you can see that. Yeah, that looks great. So that's okay. So I like the way it's turning out. It looks pretty good. And then so what we did was this is going to be pretty fat because I think I'll stitch this too. But this little thing didn't work on the antique paper, so we're using wrapping paper. And I'm just going to just go along the edge until we get it pulled off of there. And then I'm just going to glue it on the book. So I'm going to put it right there. And I really like the red on that. I think it looks pretty good with it, because that's the only other color that I used, right? So, okay, we're going to clean it up, and we're almost at ciao for now. So I like the difference in size between the two of them. I think it's kind of fun. So you can make them, any size you want. And I like the red on the piece. I think that looks really cool. And I may go back in with these and put some of these in here or something. I don't know yet, but I kind of like that red with the black and the kind of white look. So anyway, so this is what it looks like right now. And then I will probably go back with some kind of either paint or white gesso and go over the pages, and then decide what to do from there. But try one, see what you think. I really liked it. I thought it was a lot of fun, and I really want to thank Past and Pages for making them. And if you go to her site, please tell her that I sent you there. Can you believe it? We're at ciao for now. I hope you make a little tiny mini waterfall book and enjoy doing it. We just want to say that we sold our house, and that's wonderful. We have to find one to live in, so that'll be interesting. So I have no idea when we'll be filming next time, but we will. And what I wanted to say is that the world is kind of broken right now, and Don and I send our love and our light out to all the Ukrainians, and we know you do too, and we send our love out to you as well. So ciao for now.